Hello and welcome to News 9. I'm Khushi and today I have with me singer Mohan Kannan, the voice behind the beautiful song Kahani from Laal Singh Chaddha. Now, Mohan is already known for songs like Yaria from Cocktail and Chania from Two States, and with Kahani, he has added yet another absolutely soothing melody to his name. So, Mohan, welcome and firstly, congratulations on the song's success.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a long time since I've been nervous about a song. This is one of those rare ones. And I think I was just speaking to the director Advait yesterday, director of Laal Singh Chaddha. And I was telling him, yaar, ye first Gana bahut time hai that we are all, like Pritam was nervous, Amitabh was nervous. And I was telling him, probably it's because we feel so much ownership of the song. We feel like, there's a lot of, I don't know, we're invested in that song. It feels like that. So I'm glad people are loving it. Yeah. It's a very good feeling.
First songs are always very special, and it's great that the audience has poured a lot of love for the song.
Yes, it's lovely.
So I believe when you first recorded the song, you had no idea that it was for an Aamir Khan film. So what was your instant reaction, when they broke the news to you?
They didn't actually. They decided by mistake. And Pritam's place, he does about 17, 18 films at the same time. So when you go and record for Pritam, he's so busy, and there are different guys working on different projects. One guy's doing programming, one guy's doing recordings. So you don't really know, and you don't really check also, because with Pritam, I know him for a very long time. So he calls me, and I just know that when he calls me for a song, the voice will be suited. That's why he's calling me. Otherwise, he wouldn't. But first time I wasn't told anything except that Amitabh had written the lyrics, and it was great. 2 days later, when I was called back to redub, then one of the guys by mistake told me, "Sir, Amir sir really liked your voice." I said, "This is for Aamir Khan, what?" And they said, "We weren't supposed to tell you." So they were a little psyched. Right. Then Ajit Andare from Viacom, he was also very excited. He's a good friend of mine. We know him. We know each other for 15 years now. So he messaged me the day before the motion poster saying that, "Yeah, your voice is on my poster. I'm loving it." Okay. And then I got to know, I didn't even know what poster or whatever it was. Even after I knew it was for Aamir Khan, I didn't know which film. Right. Nothing. Then I got to know Laal Singh Chaddha. It's an adaptation of Forrest Gump, all of that. So that's how that happened. And now this year, of course, that was back in 2019. Okay. This year, of course, I was a part of almost all the procedure that was there, because I had to read up the song to the second Antara, which hasn't released yet. It'll come out soon. Okay. So all that. So that was fun.
How Shah Rukh Khan is known as King of Bollywood. Similarly, Aamir holds the reputation of being the Mr. Perfectionist. So when he heard the song, was there a conversation between the two of you where he told you how it was, what he felt?
Yes, actually. And I don't think that tag is wrong at all. He really is Mr. Perfectionist from whatever I've interacted with him. He gets very, very deep into each and every nuance of the song. It's just singing meaning. He'll look at lyrics, he'll look at pronunciations. So a lot of his conversations with me were about individual parts. But before that, he gave me an overall feel so that I understood where he was coming from. He told me, "Listen, we're not going to release the songs with videos. So because videos either distract or add, but these songs stand perfectly, on their own." And not just Kahani, but he was talking about the entire album. And Pritam and Amitabh, of course, done the whole album. So he told me that, we're going to release this in audio format. So we need to be really, really careful. Every song needs to connect as much as it can. And we're going completely old school. For 2 months, we'll probably not, do anything with the songs except release them on audio. And that was the idea. And after that, when he got into each line, like, yahan pe kabhi ka bahut chala gaya. It's not kabhi, it's sounding like kabhi. All those little details he would get into. So it makes it a lot of fun to work with. And even Pritam and Amitabh also, when they speak to him also, you see the difference, speaking to someone who knows and who's that invested in every part of the film. So they're also excited about making this happen. So it's good fun, very, very good fun.
That's good to know. But talking about the lyrics, I'm just going to take the liberty and quote one. क्या पता हमें है कहानी या है कहानी में हम. So clearly this song has a very deep-rooted meaning, it makes you want to reflect on life. So when you went ahead to record the music, what was the emotion that you had?
I was actually given a very good brief by Pritam. Okay. So he said, don't get into the story, because in any case, I wasn't told which film it was for. But he said, he loves me doing the storytelling bit. So he's gotten to do that with Ferrari Ki Sawari as well. He did a song called Life Ye Mausam Bhi Si Dekho Tazi Tazi Hai. It's a very strange but very pretty lyric. Okay? So he had made me do that, and he said, "Yeah, imagine you're in a New York subway, and as people are coming out from the trains and all that, you've got a guitar case in front of you, and slightly old black guy singing words of wisdom, and put yourself in that character." This was pretty much the same. It wasn't just that it wasn't speaking words of wisdom from from a wise guy perspective, but from as innocent perspective as possible. So Pritam gave me that direction right at the beginning. Then after that, we had to choose whether I'm going to take it with a deep voice, I'm going to take it with a very simple take. Should I emote every word, or should I just say it like it's a conversation? So all of those, we tried multiple different directions because we wanted to see every one of them. And I love this. I love play acting a little bit in the studio, because for me, if my favorite example to even within our band is, if I'm saying I love you to someone, the first thing you want to do is for that other person to believe you.
Right.
Then everything else. Then you don't want them to believe that you're doing a great performance, or that you want claps for it. If you're saying I love you, that person has to believe that you actually mean it. And just like that, this entire song is about that. Every line has to be as if you mean it, and it has to be. Amitabh has written it with words which are very simple, day-to-day words. None of them. There's not a single word in the entire song which feels poetic. It's just simple colloquial language. So I had to sing it like that. So that was the fun part, and that was the most difficult part. It takes a lot to. Suddenly, as a musician, like, "Ab ye variation kar dete na yaar, thoda sa let me do a little bit extra," and then you have to stop and say, "Let's do this simple." So that was fun. That was very good fun too.
Sounds nice. As you mentioned Pritam, and of course the two of you have worked before as well. So,
Yeah.
but I'm sure every song, has its own creative process. So what was it like working with him again, but on something different? What went behind in the making?
There were these two. I have to take these two guys' names who actually helped me a lot. A guy called Anirudh, and how am I forgetting his name? What is wrong with me? Wait. I'm going to tell you this guy's name, because I'm going to ask you to edit this part out, because this guy was ridiculously. He's one of the main reasons this song came out the way it did. Just give me 1 sec, okay?
This is we would love to.
Tushar?
I'm horrible at names.
Is it Tushar, Mohan?
Sorry?
Tushar?
No, Akash. Akash, yes.
Anirudh and Akash.
So, no, but when I went to dub the song, there were these two guys, Anirudh and Akash especially actually, who were sitting with me for every take. And if I spent 8 hours in the studio, they spent 8 hours, and then another 4 hours, because if I spent 8 hours, I've given them like 25, 30, 40 takes for each line. So they have to pick and choose which line works, which line blends well into the next line. Sometimes they've picked and chosen one word from a take. Even though I am singing it all in a row, I'm not singing one word, but I'm singing the entire thing. But they want that expression from that. That's how, just like it seeps down from Amir Khan, but even in Pritam's team, they're all like that. Pritam himself is much more about, okay, I want your low end here. I want this expression there. He is much more about the overall. So he gives that overall direction, and he leaves it to his guys. And these guys are brilliant. They're very good singers. So that's how this one happened, where each line was taken care of in a different manner. This much we have never been so careful with each line. I'm not even talking after Amir sir spoke to us. I'm saying before. This much care hasn't been taken even with Yariya, hasn't been taken with Jagada Chumritalaya. It's just the nature of this song. So even those guys were doing that. They're like, no, let's just do this one line again, because this one word we didn't get and your expression was great, so let me do that entire line. That kind of zone. And I think that's what shows, because at the end of the day, after all this effort, it has to sound effortless. That's the idea. So many of the takes have happened after I've done 25, 30 takes, taken a break, come back and just sung one line, and that's what.
Okay.
So that happens a lot. Because by that time that line is so part of you that you say it very naturally. You don't realize, and you're not worried about a take. You're not thinking about, okay, am I sounding like this or like that? You just say it, and then it works, and then that line comes in. So a lot of the lines are like that. So it's this song was a particularly tough one to do, but that much satisfying when it comes out well. So that's the fun of it.
a lot of dedication there, and that's why the song has come out as beautifully as it has, honestly.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very happy with it. Especially after Amitabh wrote it the way it is, we had to do justice to it. There's no way.
So I believe you'll be collaborating with Amitabh again. You have your own band, Agni, and congratulations to you and the band. You guys are completing 15 years tomorrow, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So how does it feel to collaborate with him again, and what is in store for the audience?
Thank you first of all. So it's a very, very cool milestone. We didn't realize it was a milestone because we started and now it's 15 years. It's great. So we'll probably do it again. But when you start talking about it and celebrating, then it feels like, oh, it's a milestone, right? And then you're thinking about all the songs. But Amitabh is someone, strangely enough, I've sung a lot of songs which have been written by Amitabh, whether it's the first song I ever dubbed for Bollywood, which was Now from Udan. That's written by Amitabh. And then after that, many Shikayatein, Chandaniya, so many of these songs are written by him. And now there's an Agni collaboration with him. It's a song called Kya Main Kya Tu.
Okay.
So there's an old couplet which says, Gar main hi main hota to kya main hota, gar tum hi tum hote to kya tum hote. And Amitabh appropriated that and changed that around and wrote, Main hi main ya tu hi tu, to kya main kya tu.
Okay.
So the entire song is about being there for each other. But it's not a love song. So it's got nothing to do with a romantic relationship specifically. It's just about people being there for each other. And this song got ready during lockdown in terms of like the video and all of that was ready in July. I mean, we worked on it before lockdown. It got finally ready by July in 2020. But we waited to release it because once we started, we didn't want to stop because we have 25 songs coming up from Agni back to back. So we didn't want to do one and then stop because in lockdown, we knew that we couldn't shoot another video the way we wanted to do it. We would have had to do Ghar Ka video or something like that, which we didn't want to do. So tomorrow is the first of 25. So that will come out. The first two lines of the song are Ye mohabbaton ke maaron ka geet nahi, is geet ke khayalon mein meet nahi. So that's how Amitabh has written. So it pretty much sets it apart, saying that it is not a love song, but still listen to it. So very excited about it.
This sounds exciting, and I'm sure the wait is going to be worth it for you, for the band, for Amitabh, and for the audience as well.
Thank you.
So moving on, Mohan, also, you've been in this industry for close to 2 decades now. So as a musician, in your opinion, do you think the industry has evolved when it comes to technology, be it talent or opportunities?
Technology, of course. Technology has evolved leaps and bounds across any industry. Talent, I don't think it's evolved in that sense because India's always had ridiculously good talent, especially singers. It's like if you go to the Northeast, they have a saying that if you shake a tree, there'll be 3 guitarists that will fall out. So like that, across India, if you go, there are singers in every street. I mean, every 2 buildings, you'll find 3 good singers. And they're very, very talented. It's just, in terms of the opportunities, it's not possible to have those many, I think. And also in the film industry, like what we have, Bollywood is our biggest platform for singers and musicians because it's just big. I mean, the kind of promotions that you can get for a song through a film, through a Hindi feature film especially, or nowadays even South feature films, is much more than you can do as an independent artist or a non-film artist. Those opportunities are always going to be a little less. But my feeling is that now the big change that has happened from, let's say, the 90s or before that, earlier we used to look at voices who could be the voice of an actor. Most of the songs were lip sync. So when you heard a song, you saw it on TV with Rajesh Khanna or with Amitabh Bachchan or with Shashi Kapoor or all of these people, right? And therefore Kishore Kumar's voice or Mohammad Rafi Saab's voice, all these voices became even more, even bigger because they could sound like Rajesh Khanna, they could sound like Devanand, they could sound like Amitabh Bachchan. So it felt like that. And then moving on, playback singing became very, very different. And that's why it was called playback, because you're a singer for a different face. And then after that, it started becoming more and more different. And then suddenly you started hearing Kailash Kher in a movie where his voice doesn't really suit an actor. You started hearing my voice where I'm singing Yariyan and the actor is Saif Ali Khan and his voice and my voice just don't match. But it became a choice that people started making a choice for taking a singer for a song. That this song will best suit or this singer's voice will best suit that song. So then they became, you had opportunities for people like Papan, me, Kailash Kher, Benny Dayal, Ash King, in the male voices. All of these guys have different. I don't think it's evolved that much yet with the women part of the industry, because those many songs are not being made, which I'm trying to correct myself. I'm trying to make some songs because I know some fabulous women singers. They're fabulous and they're very, very good friends of mine. And they all have different voice textures. So one of my projects coming up is that. But if you leave that aside, at least the whole part of Bollywood not being one kind of music and not, having just singers who can suit an actor, that's also there, but that's less because lip sync songs aren't there. Now you have montage songs, you have a scene going on, the story is going forward, and there's a song going in the background. So now that lends itself to so many other kinds of music that can be put. You can have jazz, funk, you can have different voices, you can have interesting things happening. That Emotional Toucher, for example, is a lip sync song in a very quirky way. And Amitabh Bhattacharya apparently sang it. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, that bandmaster, Rangila, Rasila, or whatever, that is apparently actually Amitabh Bhattacharya. Okay. So it's him singing it. I didn't know. I got to know 2 days ago when we were doing a trail of conversations for this Kahani and for our song. So you have different voices that can come. So that gives you some opportunities, I guess. But I think anyone needs to be original. I don't think anyone should ape. That's the only issue.
Art after all.
Yeah.
No, but very rightly said. I remember growing up, even I used to, all of us used to associate songs, the playback singer with the actor. And it's a great thing that, that change is being witnessed over the years.
Yeah.
Well, Mohan, it has been an absolute delight talking to you. But before we conclude this interview, it can't be complete without you singing a few lines for the audience. So would you please do the honors?
Sure. Kahani, a little bit.
Of course, Kahani works.
हो रहा है जो रहा है क्यों तुम न जानो ना हम पम क्या पता हम में है कहानियां है कहानी में हम पम